Hi, I'm Josh Oliver from Zenatta Consulting. In my previous videos, I walked you through how to use the standard integration between the CRM and Creator. However, as I mentioned in those videos, the standard integration does not allow integration with custom fields. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through my favorite method of integrating CRM and Creator using a custom API connection. The method I discussed today will allow you to integrate custom modules and fields in a two-way sync. This integration is set up in two parts. First, we'll set up a workflow inside the CRM to create or update records back into Creator. And then we'll set up a workflow within Creator to create or update records into the CRM. By the end of this video, you'll have a more advanced understanding of how to integrate Zoho Creator with your CRM. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Enjoy. So the application we're going to integrate with today is this task management app that we've been working on in the last few demos. And essentially what I need is a way to bring account records into the Creator app. And I want to be able to bring in custom fields, standard fields, but also know that this is not limited to the account record. You could do this on any module inside of the CRM that you want to pull information into Creator. So in today's case, we're going to integrate the accounts module with this app, and we need to have a function inside of the CRM such that when an account is created or edited in the CRM, we need to push that information into Creator, and then whenever the account is created or edited inside of Creator, push that back into the CRM. So this is a task management app. Each task is linked to an account, so I want to be able to pull in our CRM accounts to a task. So let's first start inside of the CRM, and we're going to start by creating a workflow rule. So I'm going to go into Setup, and under Setup, we click Workflow Rules, and let's go ahead and create a new workflow rule. This is going to be under the Accounts module, and I'm going to call this Sync to Creator. This rule is going to be a record action rule on create or edit, and I'm just going to do this for all accounts. However, you could maybe set a criteria and only sync certain accounts of certain type, status, or so on. In this case, I'm just going to sync all accounts, but you could expand on this and set a filter to only sync in certain accounts. And then I'm going to create a function. I've already created this function, but let's go ahead and start from scratch. And I'm going to say write my own sync to Creator, call this V2. And we're going to start from a custom function from scratch. This is all going to be done using Zoho's API, and Zoho has a few integrated functions we're going to be using today. And so I'll show you that throughout the code here, but let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to get the account record. Account equals zoho.crm.getRecordById. We're going to say we're pulling from the accounts module, and I'm pulling using the record ID, which is account ID. And we can pull in the account ID because that is an argument we're going to define here. Accounts ID. At any time, if here we're using the get records by ID integrated function. This is just pulling an API, but it's an integrated function, and the two parameters for this function is the module link name and the record ID that you want to pull. And the reason why we need to get the record is so that we can get the data from that record, which we'll use to then push to Creator. To get the link names, we go into Settings, and then under APIs and SDKs, we can click on API names. And here are the link names of all the modules. So accounts, the link name or the API name is accounts. So that's pretty straightforward. And all these standard modules have the same link name. But if we go to a custom module, you might see it a little bit differently. So like services and appointments here, these are two custom modules where the link name does not match identically with the name. So if you're having any issues getting the record, it might be because you're using the wrong API name. So make sure you check API names on the backend settings to make sure you're using the correct API name. That's going to be the same for the module, but also for the fields. So if I go into the account record, to get any of the fields, we need to use the API name. And so that'll come up here in the next step. Because now, after I get from the account record, now I want to get the account name. The account name is going to equal account.get. And now we're going to pull in from here, we need to get the account name. So we need to do that for a few different fields. We need to grab all the fields we want to then push to the accounts module in Creator, which I want the account name, status, phone, and address. And you can see we also have a CRM account field. This is an integration field, and I'm going to use this to make the connection. So if the CRM account is linked here, then I can use that as the unique identifier to make the connection back and forth. So let's go ahead and build this function out. I'm going to go kind of fast. So at any point you can pause the video or slow it down, and you can always put in a comment in the comment below and ask any questions that you might have, and I'll certainly follow up. So we need a few different fields. We need account name, status, phone, street 2, city, state, zip, and those are the fields we were going to grab. And now I can go ahead and just simply copy and paste this, and then we're going to change the parameters. So status is going to come from here, so I can just search status. Oh, I can type. There we go. And then these other few, I already know them, so I'm just going to go ahead and type them out. Phone, billing, street, bill, street 2. Again, I'm pulling these API names straight from the backend within the API names log. So billing street 2, street, state, all of these are coming straight from here. Now, another thing I want to add in here is just a quick little if null statement, because if the street or street 2 is null, I don't want it to show null inside of Creator. So I'm just going to put a little blank. If null, then just basically clear it out. Set it to 0 or set it to blank. I don't want it to show null in the value. So let's just copy that here, and we're going to paste that here. Perfect. Next, I'm going to start setting up my map. And now a map is how you can organize fields and data, keys and values, how we can push data from here to Creator. I can actually start this and show you. So whenever I go to create a record, so let's say I'm searching, I'm going to just start typing out creator account. That's our variable, and then Zoho.creator create record. And again, this function is going to both create or edit or update a record. When we're creating a record, we need to know a few things. So we need to know the owner name of the app link name, form link name, and then we have our key value data, and then we also have a key value optional map. The key value is our data map, and then we have an optional map as well. And then last, we have a connection name. So let's go ahead and start formatting this real quick. We can get the owner name from Creator, and that's just, in this case, demo for Zenatta. Our app link name is test app, so I can copy that over here. Our form link name is the name of the form within Creator. And so again, we have forms and accounts, or forms and reports. Right now I'm looking at the report, so this would be the API name of the report. Here is the form, so this is the API name of the form. So I'm going to grab that. And then we have our data map. So I'm going to just call this Creator MP for map. And we also have an optional map, which I'm just going to put in map here. We never actually need the optional map, so I just set it to map, and that will just push it right there. Last thing here is a connection. So connections can be found under CRM settings. Under settings, you click on setup. Here we go. Under Developer Hub, we have connections. You might already have a Creator connection set up. So here is the Creator connection that I have, and the API name for this is just all lowercase Creator. If you don't have a connection set up already, all you have to do is just click Create Connection, and then you can search for Creator, and then just go ahead and set that up. It's pretty simple. You just go ahead and choose your connection name. I generally just type in Creator, all lowercase. Same for the connection link name. Set those both to the same name. And then in this case, our scopes, I usually just select all of them, but you could refine that and just select certain scopes if you want. If you ever want to use this connection in the future for deleting records or getting metadata, then you might as well just go ahead and select all of them. For the purpose of this, of today, all the only scopes you need are to create or update. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this because I already have my Creator connection set up. And so my connection link name is just Creator, all lowercase. Perfect. And so now this Creator map I need to define. So Creator map equals map. And now I'm going to start putting information into this map. Now, when you are putting information into a map, it's a key value pair. And the key is going to come from Creator, and the value is going to be pushed into this map using the CRM. So let's say the first piece of data I want is the account name. And that means the value, or the API link name inside of Creator is going to come from Creator, and I can find it by going into the form, and we can see this account name. The field link name is account name. So you have account underscore name is the key, and then the value is going to come from the CRM defined using this variable above. I'm going to use the same method, so let's go ahead and just copy this a few times. So we have a few of these in here. So we need account name. We're going to do this for status, phone, address. Now address is interesting because these are actually subfields within one field inside of Creator. So you can see address is one field. And so that's actually just going to be one field here, address. And we need to get address into its own sub map. So I'll show you that here in a second. But let's get status here. So we have status and phone number. So you can see phone does not match the link name. The link name is actually phone number. So we need phone number here. Now address, like I said, is a sub map. And so we want to create another map, address MP equals map, and our address map is going to have key values for the subfields. And so first we're going to do streets, and then you have street 2, city, state, zip. City, state, zip. Now this map is going to be what goes into this. So you can see address, the key for address is actually going to contain an entire map. It's not just a single variable, it's a map of variables. So to get the sub-field link names, you can't really find them very easily in this view. You can see we have like address line 1, line 2, but this does not actually show you the link names. To get the link names, a quick little tip here is to go ahead and just create a test function. It could be on anything. In this case, I'm just going to do on load. And then when we create an action, we can do input.address. And then when we do dot again, this is going to give us our sub field link names. So we have our address line 1, address line 2, postal code, state, and city. And the city is district_city. So they don't really follow the same naming convention. And if you have multiple address fields within a form, these link names can change. So don't always think they're going to be the same. You need to come in and create a workflow rule and just look at them to make sure that they are the same to get the actual value. Now let's go back into our function, and I'm just going to go ahead and build this out. I've already defined these fields in a notepad. So we have address line 1, line 2, district, city, and state, province, and then postal code is zip. That's essentially our map. So we have our address map, and then we have our creator map. Our creator map is what is the parent to this, and we are passing the creator map into this function, which is going to create our record. And again, the address map is just a subcomponent of this. Now, of course, we don't want this function just to create records. We want to be able to update records if they already exist. So really the first thing we need to do in this function is to search for, let's just do search for record. To search, we just set a search variable equals zoho.creator dot, and then we want to get records. This is following the same style where we have our owner name, app link name, report link name in this case. We're not searching based on a form, we're searching based on a report, and then our criteria. We have our from index and our limit. So in this case, it would just be from indexes equal to 1, and we only want to grab one record. Our connection link name is going to be the same. So let's go ahead and start defining this. These two values are going to be the same. This one is the report link name. I've already defined this, so I can actually get rid of this function. Our report link name is all accounts. So here is the report and just all_accounts. Text here is the criteria. And the criteria in this case is if the CRM account field is populated. That's what we want to search based on. So we're going to search all of the accounts, and if we find a record that has a CRM account populated, that's going to be what we want to search on, because this is actually giving us a CRM record ID on the back end. So CRM account equals, and then we want to set this as a string, so we do a / quote, and then quote, and then we're going to plus account ID. Like that. The reason why we do these / is because this actually sets it as a string variable. It basically / allows you to put a quotation within the criteria. So it's basically saying CRM account equals quotes account ID and then end quotes. And then the number here is our start index and limit. We only want 1 and we're starting from 1. Our connection name is creator. Bam. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and just see what this gives us. So when I info search let's test this out. So let's go into an account record, Zenatta creator test. Here's a test record I have, and it doesn't exist yet inside of our application because here's our list of all the accounts. I know it doesn't exist because our name doesn't exist. So I'm going to grab this ID from the CRM, and we're going to save and execute and see what our search function gives us. So here, the output of search is code 3100, no records found. So now I can start building out our logic here. So if search.get code equals 3100, then we want to create a record. Create record. Else, the other code that we're going to be using is 3000. So if code is 3100, we're going to create a record. If code is 3000, then we're going to update a record. Now I've already started this function, so I can go ahead and just bring this over here. Creator account, and then this is going to be what creates that record. If I want to update the record, it's going to be similar to this, but instead, so let's go ahead and use the same variable name. So .creator.update record. Similar. In this case, again, we're going to be using a report link name, and then we need to be feeding in the record ID. So the record ID is the account ID, and we're going to be using the same data map and optional map and connection link name. So really all of this is going to be the same for the most part as this. These first three parameters are the same. Notice this is the report link name, and then this is the form link name, because when we're updating a record, we're grabbing a record from a report, whereas when we're creating a record, we're adding a record to a form. That's really the only difference. And then the number here, this is actually the record ID from Creator. We don't want the record ID from the CRM. We want the record ID from Creator. So Creator ID, and this is going to come from our search. So when we are searching, we can get the record ID. Let's run this function real quick, and I want to show you that because our code is 3100, what we're going to do is end up creating our first record inside of Creator. So let's info this Creator account, and let's see what happens. We're going to run this same function, but now that we've set up this function here, that should end up creating our record. So here we can see that the account doesn't exist, and we're going to just run this real quick. Bam. So you can see the search said no records found, and then our second function here to create the record says that data was added successfully. If I go back into this report, and we will see another record was added. So there it is. Zenatta creator test, status is meeting scheduled, and here's that address. We don't have a phone number listed in the CRM yet, so that hasn't pulled over, but everything else does look pretty good. All right, let's hop into this record here. So everything looks like it came in, but the CRM account actually was not defined. So we need to make sure that the CRM account is listed in the data map. So there's one piece that's missing. I need to add one more field, and that's the CRM account. And that's going to be pulling from the CRM account ID. So that field is CRM account here. So we just need to make sure that that is pulling. We're going to do this one more time. So I'm going to delete this record, and let's just run it one more time. All right, data added successfully. And when I come back in here, I'm going to refresh. Now we can see CRM account is populated. So now, whenever my function runs again, if I do the same function, run the same code on the same ID, we'll see that the search will give us a different code. It's not going to be 3100. It's going to be 3000 because it's going to find a record. So there you go. You can see code is 3000, and here is the information I got. So here is what exists already inside of Creator. So when I'm updating Creator, I need to pass a little bit more information. So we're going to give it an ID. And so the ID is coming from this data map here. You can see ID. This is the Creator ID, which is different from the CRM ID. Search.get, and then data. So we're going to get the data. We're going to get the first record of this list, and then we're going to get ID. That's going to give us the Creator ID, which is then going to go into this parameter here. These other two parameters are really other three parameters are all going to be the same as this. So we have our Creator map, optional map, which just has to be defined, and then Creator is the connection link name. Now I can bring this down to the very bottom. And that's really our code right here. So let's run it one more time just to see what happens. Bam, you can see the record was found, and then the record was successfully updated. I'm going to go ahead and save this. We have our function written. It's on a workflow rule that's on create or edit. So now, if I am inside of this CRM record, and let's say I update this to V2, I'm just updating the account name to Zenatta Creator Test V2. I'm going to come back into Creator and refresh. There you go. You can see that that record has been updated live. It's as soon as the record's updated inside the CRM, give it a second, and it's going to update inside of Creator. Let's also add a phone number. So fake number, so don't try calling it. Refresh. There you go. You can see the phone number comes in just like that. So that is the function for creating or updating records from the CRM into Creator. Now we need to write a workflow rule to push information from Creator to the CRM. And that's also going to be a workflow rule on create or edit. Anytime an account record in this case is created, it's going to create that inside the CRM. Also, if it's updated, it will push that update back into the CRM as well. So let's go into edit this application in Creator. And we're going to go to workflow rules, and let's create a new workflow rule. This is going to be on the accounts module, on create or edit. And it's just going to be on success of the form. So I just say on submit. This function will be a little bit easier to write. Creator is a little bit more friendly when getting values and creating a map, but it's going to be a similar type of function. So we have to create a map, and we're just going to call this CRM MP equals map. And we need to put data into this map. So put, in this case, we're pulling the link name inside of the CRM and pushing the key is the CRM link name, and the value is the Creator link name. The first one, let's say, is going to be account name. So account name is input.account name. What's great about Creator is you can just do input dot. We don't have to do a bunch of gets. So input dot account name, input dot status. So here is status and phone number. I've already defined these in the notepad. So our status link name, and then input dot status. Our phone link name, and then input dot phone number. So it's the reverse of what we were doing inside of the CRM. Now for our address, it's a little bit easier. We don't need to do a submap because within the CRM, each address field is its own field in CRM. So we can just go ahead and define those here. So CRM mp.put, and then again, to get to the link names, let's just search billing so we get them all in one view. We have street, street to, state, city, code. Those are the ones we need. So let's do street first. Billing, street. And then this is going to be input.address dot address line 1, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and fill that out for the remaining. So we have billing street 2, city, state, code, address line 1, or address line 2, district, city, state, province, and postal code. We need to write a similar logic inside of this function that's going to, if the record already exists in CRM, then we want to update it. If the record does not exist, then we need to create it. And this one's a little bit easier because we don't need to do a search. We can actually just reference a field in this form. Because the form already has a link here, so CRM account, if a CRM account is null, then we need to create the account. Otherwise, we need to update it. So if this is already populated, then we just need to update the account. Otherwise, we need to create it. So in this case, we can just say if input.crm account is null, then we're going to create record. Else, we're going to update record. When we're creating a record, pretty straightforward. So we're going to just say CRM account equals zoho.crm.create record. This is pulling in module is accounts, which is the link name of the module. And then the map is just CRM MP. And then we want to make sure we're updating. When we're creating an account, we need to update the CRM account field with the newly created CRM account ID. So we'll say CRM account.get ID. That will then update the CRM account field with the ID so that the next time this function runs, it's not going to create another account. It will update the record. So in here, we're going to say CRM account equals zoho.crm.update record. Accounts. The record ID is input.crm account. And the map is going to be the same map. Info CRM account. Save. Line number 20, it's saying it doesn't match. It needs to be in big int. So basically saying right here, this needs to be too long. CRM account is actually saving a string value on the back end, which is the record ID of that account. We need to convert that record ID string into a number. So we use the too long function to convert it to a number field or to a big integer field. And that's it. We've written the function. Much quicker to write the function inside of Creator to push that information back. And now if I go back into our accounts list here, let's just remove the V2. Click update. Here is the little success message. I'm only seeing this because I'm a developer of the app, but I can see that it was modified. And then if I go back into here, we'll see that the V2 should get removed. Beautiful. So it's been removed. Now we have successfully created a two-way sync. Workflow rule inside the CRM is pushing data into Creator. Workflow rule in Creator is pushing data into the CRM. If you wanted to do a mass sync, just to get all of those records from CRM into Creator, You could do it a few ways. Likely you might just want to do an import into the creator report. So you could do an import just by going into import and then pulling in the CSV file of the data you want to pull in. That means you need to pull an export from the CRM first, format that a little bit, and then you can go ahead and import all of that. The only requirement is to make sure that the CRM account field gets populated using the CRM account ID. That's the only requirement to make sure that that makes the proper link. With that record linked, so this is a two-way sync, and our Zenatta creator test record is synced both ways. I can go ahead and create a task, and I can link it to that creator Zenatta creator test record. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope I got your mind thinking about the possibilities with Zoho Creator. Now you should have a good idea of how to integrate this yourself, but if you have any questions or implementations you would like to share, please put those in the comments below or post in our community, Club Zenatta. Thanks for watching and have a great day.